Your stomach acid is strong enough to dissolve razor blades, and your body regenerates its own lining fast enough to survive that every single day. Of all the creatures on Earth, humans sit in the top 10 when it comes to the strength of that acid. The only ones that beat us are crocodiles, sharks, and vultures, creatures built to dissolve bones whole. Think about that for a second. You are walking around with something almost violent living inside you, and it is keeping you alive. But this force doesn't stop at the stomach. Every human being carries something that ancient people recognized long before science had a name for it. A fire within, not a metaphor. A living, working force that operates through your entire system. The body runs on it. Your metabolism is fire converting food into movement. Your stomach acids are fire breaking down the world so your body can use it. But this same force runs through your mind and your emotions too. The ancient Sanskrit word for it is Agni. And Agni is not just digestion, it is the principle of transformation itself. Whatever enters it does not leave unchanged. Here is the simple version of what this means. Everything you take in, whether it is food, sound, an experience, a conversation, a piece of music, a hard memory, all of it needs to be processed, broken down, separated into what is useful and what needs to be released. That is what a healthy inner fire does. It discriminates, it extracts the nourishment and lets go of the rest. When this fire is strong, life feels like it is teaching you something. Experiences don't pile up randomly. They arrange themselves into understanding. A hard moment stings, then it settles. An emotion rises, moves through you, and releases. A memory comes, gives you something, and lets go. When this fire is weak, nothing completes. Thoughts circle back on themselves. Feelings stay long past their purpose. You keep replaying the same experience not because you are broken, but because your inner system never finished digesting it. The mind keeps chewing because it never extracted what it needed. Ancient texts called this undigested residue, psychic heaviness, the weight that builds when impressions accumulate faster than they can be processed. And every single sense you have is a form of this fire. Hearing is digestion of sound. When it works well, voices and music pass through you and leave something behind. When it weakens, sounds replay on their own. The conversation from 3 days ago still running, the criticism still echoing. Smell is so direct it bypasses thought entirely and lands straight into the nervous system. This is why it was considered the most powerful and the most dangerous sense. A smell doesn't ask for your permission, it just arrives. This is also why well-made incense was never just decoration. It was considered medicine for the atmosphere of the mind. Touch digests contact. When this is working, physical contact feels grounding, safe. This is why ritual touch, massage, bathing, and warmth were not just comfort. Across cultures, they were understood as care for something deeper than the body. And then there is what we consume with our eyes. Most people massively underestimate how literal this process is. The videos you scroll through, the content you consume hour after hour, that is food. Your mind is eating it. And just like food eaten too fast with no real nutrition, most of it passes through only half digested, collecting in the background, shaping your moods, your patience, your baseline emotional state without you ever deciding it should. Sad music day after day sharpens sadness until melancholy starts to feel like intelligence. Aggressive content keeps the body slightly braced, always waiting for a threat that isn't coming. Fast-cut videos train the mind to find stillness unbearable. The brain literally reorganizes itself around whatever it receives most often. Your attention, your emotional patterns, your default inner weather all quietly align with your diet. This is why people develop emotional cravings that have nothing to do with logic. The inner fire gets calibrated to whatever fuel you keep feeding it. Now here's where it gets interesting. In the ancient world, fire was not just a tool, it was understood as a conscious force. In the Vedas, Agni is called the first god invoked, because nothing else could happen without him. No ritual, no offering, no prayer, no understanding, because all of these require transformation, and transformation requires fire. The logic was precise. The gods do not consume matter directly. They consume essence. Fire is the translator. Whatever humans wish to offer, food, gratitude, intention, must pass through fire first. Without fire, the offering stays inert, unreadable, raw material that nothing can use. Give rice to a rock. It becomes a dirty rock. Give that same rice to a person, and it becomes thought, energy, words, action. Something that was not them becomes them. That is transformation. That is what fire does. Grief is the same. The same grief meets two people. In one it becomes bitterness that repeats for decades. In the other it becomes depth, empathy, and a kind of maturity that cannot be faked. The difference is not the grief. It is the quality of the inner fire receiving it. The Zoroastrians understood this so deeply that they built entire temples around a single living flame, a flame with a lineage, carried across centuries, moved carefully during wars and exile, guarded the way you guard an elder who holds the memory of the whole community. Because fire was not seen as a symbol of life. It was seen as a presence within life. And then there is the phoenix. Near the end of its long life, the bird gathers resins and spices and builds what looks like a nest. It settles into it. The fire rises slowly, surrounding it, and everything burns. Feathers, flesh, all the years. What remains is only the essential residue, the concentrated core of what the life actually was, and from that, something new begins. The myth is not really about death and rebirth. It is about what happens when you let something complete itself fully, instead of dragging it forward past its time. The fire does not destroy, it clarifies. It removes everything that was accumulated and borrowed and unnecessary. And what survives the fire is the only thing that was ever really yours. In Sanskrit, Kali means the fire of time, time's fire. It is often associated with Shiva, with the end of cycles, with the force that dissolves what has run its course so something true can begin. The sun is this too. It is cooking everything alive at every moment, while we warm our bones in it without a second thought. Time is the substance from which I am made. Time is a river that carries me along, but I am the river. It is a tiger that devours me, but I am the tiger. It is a fire that consumes me, but I am the fire.